Oh, is it rolling yet? Okay. Oh gosh. Whew. Okay. 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 All right. Hi everyone. My name is Introverted Feeling, also known as FI, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about what I represent. And yeah, let's get started. So yeah, the types that I show up in are the ISFP and the INFP as a dominant function, the ESFP and the ENFP as an auxiliary function, and then the INTJ and the ISTJ as a tertiary function, and then an ESTJ and ENTJ as the inferior function. A lot of people tend to have their stereotypes about me, like how I'm always maybe crying, or that I'm just very like emo, or just things like that. And stereotypes do come from places, so it's not to say that you'll never really see an FI user who doesn't cry often, but also there's a lot of joy here still, because at the heart of it all, FI is really like, looking into every human emotion and really, sucking on that human emotion, like sucking the marrow out of it, whether it be anger, whether it be sadness, whether it be even happiness and joy. It's really just not being afraid to use all of the piano keys, and trying to like observe how they're all different in their own nature, and even then they still have their own purpose. I've realized that when I show up in people, a lot of times I tend to try to see the differences in me and the other person, and that's a difference that might show up differently from my cousin, FE, or extroverted feeling, who seems to kind of capitalize on the similarities that the individuals might have with each other. But even though I'm noticing more of the differences that I might have with the individuals, I see there's a beauty in that. And that kind of tends to draw me closer to the person, unless if there's a difference in values. Then, a lot of times that could actually cause the opposite reaction, and I might want to draw further away from that person, because I am really all about values and exploring the core of a human being and identity. And as a matter of fact, I should probably read to you my facets, so we can get on that. So some of the facets that you might be able to see with people who have me as a stronger function, is identifying motivations, focus on core values and conscience/identity, focus on nuances of human emotion, mirrors emotion by finding in oneself, a pulse on internal emotional experience and impacts. I'm usually capable of seeing various sides to myself and even trying on different personas to further find myself. I tend to identify differences between people and capitalize on them, kind of like what I already said. I'm really big on inner alignment, and I tend to have the ability to make others feel exactly what I'm feeling. So I think that a really great example of this could be like, I believe Michael Jackson was an FI lead, ISFP to be exact. And a lot of times when he would perform, then he would get really intensely emotional on stage, and he would kind of have the people who are listening to him feel exactly what he is feeling inside. And I think that this is a big thing that a lot of ISFPs and just FI users in general are able to do. I've seen this a lot with a lot of ESFPs and ENFPs and INFPs especially. But yeah, I'm really big on really getting to the core once again of like who a person might be. I really pretty much am always asking the question, how does this make me feel? And how does that make me feel? And really like diving deep into that emotion. So if something makes me feel a certain type of way, then I start to examine like, okay, why am I feeling this way? And what does that say about me? So for this reason, people can tend to call me sensitive. And to an extent, yeah, I guess you can call me sensitive in the sense that everything does tend to come back to myself. But that's not always a bad thing. You know, there's a difference between being selfish versus maybe being a little bit self-oriented. And to be self-oriented a lot of times is where we even get the term self-care. And from actually taking care of myself a lot of times and understanding my inner emotional terrain, then I'm able to also better have compassion and empathy for other people. So a lot of times, you know, I might even, you know, identify with empaths because I am feeling the same thing that the other person might be feeling, but not in the same way that an extroverted feeling type might be feeling it. But a lot of times it's more like I'm finding the same vibration or the same emotion within myself. And then I'm kind of like using it like a tuning fork to see like, oh, is this the same emotion in that other person? And that kind of really helps me to find the humanity in people. I really like looking at the humanity in people. I really like to understand the motivations of other people. I really like to understand my own motivations. You know, we are made up of a cluster of motivations. So, you know, even if it's something as simple as going to the gym and trying to work out, you know, somebody could be motivated and saying that they're motivated to go and work out because they want a healthy lifestyle so they can like live a long life and everything. But also, it's possible that there's another motivation there, which is they just want to look good on a summer day at the beach. And that's not to say that it's a bad thing. It's just to say that, like, yeah, there is more than one motivation that's involved. And sometimes people are not really aware of just how many other motivations that might be involved in things. And that's just something like going to the gym. But I'm pretty good at being able to weed out all of my motivations and also weeding out like other people's motivations and really understanding like what is driving a person. You guys have already met my twin, Extroverted Thinking, and we work together quite well, at least when we're in alignment, because essentially it's kind of like I'm the engine and then he is the automobile that when I really have a core desire or a core thing that I want to go after, then extroverted thinking is like, okay, how do we get there? But what is a automobile without an engine, you know? And what good is an engine if it's not really going to get anywhere? Sometimes even when I'm not passionate enough, then if it's not in alignment with the extroverted thinking, then I might not be able to attain the things that I want in life. And I'm just hopelessly fantasizing about the things that I want without really taking action. And I guess that's where other functions that you meet will come into play. But at the core of it all, I really am focused on the core of it all. I'm really focused on understanding what motivates people, why people feel the way that they feel, what is human emotion, what does it mean to be a human being, and essentially, who are we as people? I want to explore the deepest, darkest parts of a person, and also myself. And I really want to be able to allow that to further inform me about myself and about humanity as a whole, so that we can better understand each other. And then a lot of times, a lot of beautiful art comes from that. And the art that I tend to create even allows other people to be able to go and access things within themselves as well. Do I have anything else to share on this? I don't think so. So I think I'll leave it there. yeah, this was at least a brief introduction to who I am. And if you have any further questions, then you should really check out denzelmensah.com. You'll be able to book a session with him. And if you have me anywhere in your stack, then, he'll be able to really help you with tapping more into who I am and really bringing out FI in a stronger way, and just harnessing the power of FI. If you also would like to leave a comment with your experience with FI, whether it be, it being in a dominant all the way down to even your eighth function, I would really like to see some discussion about that going on, because I know that FI is also really the part of us that might, even though we're really concerned with being authentic, there's so much vastness to how we can, come off. And so a lot of times I don't really like labels, sometimes it's even hard for me to get into something like typology, because I feel like it's so limiting. Like, as a human, there's just so much more. And to just say that, well, I'm an intuitive, and then get stuck with that label of intuition, it's stifling. So it's like, no, well, but I also have sensor traits, and, okay, maybe sure I have feeling, but I'm also thinking. And so why does it have to be this dichotomous? There's so much nuance to a human being. And I'm getting passionate. This is where my wheelhouse is. Really further understanding humans and the nuances of humans and their core and their identity, and how much we can't be contained, because there's just so much to who we are as people. I said that I didn't really have much more to say, and here I am saying more, because there's just always so much more to explore within ourselves and with human beings. But yeah, I think that I will just leave it there. And if you enjoyed this, please give it a like. Again, leave your comments. And please, most importantly, do not forget that you matter. Done. Thank you for taking the time to watch that video. And if you enjoyed that, please like and subscribe. It actually really helps out my channel a lot, so that more people who actually care about what I want to say can actually find me a lot more easier. Also, if you did enjoy it, then maybe you'll enjoy a lot of my other content as well. So be sure to check out some of my playlists, where you'll be able to find a lot of my older videos and older content. And last but not least, if you would like any profiling sessions or coaching sessions, be sure to check out denzelmensah.com, where you'll be able to book me and you'll see the rest of my services. But thanks again, and have a great day.